Okay, let's dive into this. We've got some interesting source notes here about a hydroponic farm visit.
Yeah, specifically one on a rooftop in a tropical city. Kind of an unusual setting.
Right. You step out from a mall onto the roof and boom, a farm. But the first thing noted, and this is key, the vegetables, they looked kind of pale.
Yeah, paler than you'd typically expect, especially if you're thinking about, like, perfect indoor growing conditions.
And the source mentioned the setup itself looked okay.
Yeah, seemed pretty standard. Transparent plastic for the walls, the root areas visible, an aeration fan going. Pipes looked functional.
So on the surface, everything seemed, well, engineered properly.
Exactly. But that pale color in the plants immediately signals something's maybe not optimal, something deeper is going on.
Which leads right to the core question that popped up in the notes. Does that tropical weather, being so, inconsistent outdoors, actually mess with getting uniform, healthy plants?
That's the crux of it. And that's sort of our mission here, right? To unpack what the source suggests might be causing this.
Okay, so where does the source point first? What's the main suspect?
Sunlight, or rather the lack of consistent sunlight. That's what the notes really zero in on.
Ah, okay. Outdoor variable number one, especially in the tropics.
Totally. The source highlights seasonal changes, like the monsoon season specifically. Think heavy cloud cover, lots of rain.
Which obviously cuts down sunlight drastically compared to, say, a clear, sunny day.
Right, and it's not just a little less sun. It can be significantly less, and unpredictably so.
And sunlight is, that's plant energy 101, right? Photosynthesis.
Precisely. It drives growth, but it also drives the production of chlorophyll.
The green stuff, the pigment that makes plants look healthy and vibrant.
Exactly. So if your sunlight is all over the place, weak one day, strong the next, maybe blocked for hours, your energy production is inconsistent.
Which likely means less chlorophyll production overall, leading to that pale appearance.
That's a very likely explanation suggested by the observation. It puts stress on the plants.
Unlike indoors, where you can just flip a switch and give them, 12 hours of perfect light every single day.
Right. Indoors offers control. Outdoors, especially in the tropics, as noted here, you're completely subject to whatever the weather decides to do. Clouds, rain, intense heat sometimes too.
It disrupts their whole rhythm, doesn't it? Their growth cycles, their metabolism.
It really does. Makes achieving that uniform supermarket perfect look incredibly tough, even if your water and nutrients are dialed in.
Yeah, the best nutrient mix in the world can't really make up for a week of monsoon clouds blocking the sun.
Nope. Can't photosynthesize without light energy.
So, seeing this firsthand, the person who wrote these notes started thinking about their own situation, right? They were considering hydroponics or maybe aquaponics.
Yes, exactly. They took this observation and applied it to their own potential setup at home. Looked at the microclimates around their house.
And basically saw the same potential headaches, the same environmental variability.
Pretty much. Based on what they saw on that rooftop and thinking about their own outdoor space, the conclusion was maybe a full outdoor system there would just be too challenging.
Too much effort to constantly fight the unpredictable weather.
Sort of, yeah. Too much intervention, too much adjustment needed to try and smooth out those environmental swings.
So, managing the light inconsistency, maybe temperature spikes, humidity, all that tropical weather stuff.
Right. The note suggests the perceived effort just seemed to outweigh the potential yield or benefit for them in that specific context.
But they didn't totally give up on the idea, did they?
No, interestingly, the notes mentioned that a smaller indoor setup, that still seemed doable, manageable, controlled.
Which really brings it back to you, the listener, if you're thinking about hydroponics, especially outdoors in a similar climate.
This experience highlighted in the source shows it's more than just buying the gear and plugging it in.
You're kind of entering into this constant negotiation with nature, with its variability.
That's a good way to put it. Even a decent setup can struggle if the core inputs, like light, aren't consistent.
Absolutely. It makes you think practically about gardening when you can't predict the weather day to day.
So here's the final thought we wanted to leave you with, pulled straight from this reflection in the source material.
If this fairly well-equipped rooftop farm showed visible signs of struggle, those pale plants, just because of environmental inconsistency.
What level of environmental control do you really need to achieve consistent success with outdoor hydroponics in a place like that?
And, maybe more importantly for the average person, is achieving that level of control, that constant monitoring and adjustment, actually manageable? Or does an indoor setup just make more sense for predictability? Something to think about.